Flight attendants of Reddit. What happens when you suspect people of having sex in the bathroom of the plane, and how often does that happen? It doesn't happen much at all. Way too cramped. Unless you luck out on a mostly empty plane. That's what I've heard too. Still feel like there must be some interesting stories lol. What's to tell? She went in first, I followed with a knock. It was cramped, so not a lot of foreplay. I came and she didn't. 5/10 would do again. No one noticed though. Mile high is overrated. Now, mile long is where it's at. We had the room to ourselves and were going at it somewhere between Poland and Germany. Plenty of room and the cushions on modern German wagons. Just as we were finishing, we pulled into a half-full station. The onlookers moving fast first but slowly locking on questionably to our position as we finished. Pants up and casual before anyone, except us, came on the train. I think the original, Mile High Club, was meant to be exclusive because it's difficult to do. I wonder if the term was originally meant more for private jets. Pilot here. Once heard our senior cabin crew bang the door and shout in her thick Irish accent. If I'm not getting any. Yous too sure as hell aren't. Get out and sit down. Edit. My most liked comment is about customers doing the nasty in the loo. Great. Never tried, but read that it's easier to dirty spoon under blankets on a red eye than use the tiny bathroom. I never get this. On every flight I've been on, there's always lineups for the bathroom. And flight attendants nearby. How do two people get in there unnoticed? Try flying Sydney to Vancouver or any other such flight path more appropriate to your location and travel desires. It feels like an eternity. Although it's only 15 hours or so non-stop. During the middle of the night, in terms of the departure time zone, it is usually super quiet and all the lights are off. How the hell can you fit two people in an airplane bathroom? You stick one inside the other. Russian nesting passengers, if you will. I caught two little people having sex in the photo booth at my bar. We had to lift them out by hand because they were so drunk. They were completely naked. I was in the women's bathroom once and there was two very large women trying to have sex in a cubicle. I think one tried to lift the other up, but they ended up breaking the entire cubicle. Door fell off and the cubicle walls collapsed. There was a long line of ladies waiting to go, and I've never heard a women's bathroom so quiet. We were all gobsmacked. Apart from the woman who had a wall fall on her. They sheepishly climbed over the rubble and hauled ass. Edit. Wow, thanks for sparkly. I fly for a really big international airline, so I had chance to see people from all over the world. Still, I can say it doesn't happen that much. What happens, how I react, depends on the flight, passengers and their previous attitude. Mostly, I just knock the door and mind my own business if they don't disturb others. The main problem is in case of emergency or sudden turbulence, lovebirds will almost certainly get hurt, and there is no way I can explain to the company how I let it happen. Nobody wants to do it for that minor thing, but on paper, the passengers can be picked up by airport police and charged even. Edit. Typo. The logistics of this seem mind-boggling. I can barely close the door while avoiding pee splatter and fluids on the side of the toilet. I guess I'm just too grossly uncoordinated to ever be in the Mile High Club. I just can't fathom how to fit all 6 of us in the bathroom. Serious answer: not very often. How do we react? It depends. If they are first-class passengers, you pretend you don't see. I once had a couple ask me if they both could use it together. Confused, I asked why. He gave me a wink and said it is on their bucket list. This couple was in their late 50s. I informed him, only one person is allowed inside at any given time, and if I see them enter together I would have to stop them. However, I will be leaving for 15 minutes now. They did the deed and thanked me. I'm all about helping people tick off their bucket lists. Not a flight attendant but a pilot. I've been flying for a few years and luckily haven't had anything of the sort. Closest I've personally had was a flight attendant get unwelcome touches from a drunk passenger. It's mildly satisfying having charges pressed and the customer service folks informing that passenger who had hundreds of thousands of miles and enormous status with the airline lose all of that and banned from flying with us on top of it all. Everyone forgets that cabin altitude of airliners is 6 to 8 feet and the light mild hypoxia means alcohol affects you significantly more than on the ground. It doesn't happen that often because the lavatories are gross and you should never touch anything or you will get chlamydia and die. Also, maybe it's just me, but since no one looks at the occupied sign, if whoever is in there remembers to lock it at all, I instinctively tell people, there's someone in there, whenever they approach. So it's possible people have tried. And I unwittingly kill the mood. And then they have to stand in my galley in utter shame waiting for the bathroom that they don't even have to use as I munch, oblivious, on my salad until their partner comes out and the two have to have a conversation about the failed event using only their eyes. I barely have space to piss or turn around in those tiny bathrooms, let alone get jiggy with it. Honestly, it sounds so uncomfortable. A friend was telling me his experience like it was the best thing he's ever done and I was just thinking about how many times he probably hit his head on the ceiling lol. Okay, not completely related, but my sister was in the bathroom on a flight and the captain announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, we will be experiencing some slight turbulence." Suddenly the plane dropped, then shuddered and stabilized. IDK, what the hell kind of turbulence that was? All I know is I heard the most blood-curdling scream come from the bathroom. My sister comes out of the bathroom like she had just looked into the eyes of death. I suppose she thought we were crashing lol. When she sat down, she informed me that she had just fallen off the toilet. Tears of joy. So it's safe to say I will never attempt to join the Mile High Club. Just imagine. It happened to me, flying JFK to Madrid. After the meal, lights went down for movies and rest. I was very junior and kept walking the aisles for waters, napkins, etc. Saw this young lady go to the lav and 2 minutes later a guy went into same lav. I told a senior FA asking what to do and he said, "Nothing. Let them have fun." After, she went back to the seat with the smile and he went back completely paranoid if someone saw him or not. Women are brave than us on things like this lol. When I served breakfast to them, I gave her a big smile. After that, I never said anything about it, but do know, most of the time the crew is aware of it. Great memories from great days. TWA thumbs up. Light skin tone. Not a flight attendant, but after flying a few times plus watching that one episode of 1000 Ways to Die, I don't think it is worth the discomfort and apparently small chance of dying to join the Mike High Club. Not to mention the door is basically cardboard thin and with our luck my husband's ass would end up going through it and blowing our secret edit meant Mile High Club. But I guess if your partner is named Mike it still applies. LMAO. I am a flight attendant for an international airline. Sadly it doesn't happen that often. And what happens will very much depend on the day. If it's on a narrow-body, single-aisle aircraft your chances of this are practically zero. It's too busy and there are not enough bathrooms. On a larger aircraft is where the fun begins. I've never had anyone brazen enough to ask. But don't think we won't find out. As another poster has said, we're never too far from the toilets usually and also check them regularly. So don't think we won't find out. There are times when I've been too busy to give a shit. However, with a bit more time, if possible, we're going to make the most of it and call throughout the plane to let all the other crew know what's going on. And at least we'll be listening to the awkward knocks and stifled whimpers through that flimsy door and having a good giggle behind your back. I've brought down champagne from business before for a frisky couple after the fact. She turned bright red but he seemed pretty impressed with himself. I've also flown with a terrible square who knocked down the door and ruined the party. So I guess the answer is YMMV. We also know what's going on when two people are sharing a blanket across seats. You are surrounded by the elderly, children, etc. Don't be a douche. Additionally, I would like to add that the toilets are absolutely disgusting. Even when they have just been cleaned. The cleaning crew are under tight deadlines just like everyone else. Even in this COVID world. Money comes first and time is money. Pet peeve: do not wear socks to the bathroom. You wouldn't do it in any other public bathroom where people have pissed or shat all over the floor. If you want some real juicy stories, look for what FAs get up to on their downtime. The girl has to hitch up her skirt, knickers off, and jump up and wedge her bum on the edge of the sink. Then, just like peeing in the Antarctic, the deed needs to be done quickly. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you next time.